150 years ago, it's a lot of people living in here for farming much cocoa beans. But now it's all rainforest, like a jungle, and we find the cocoa beans here. Let me open up. It's not ripe, but it's good to shoot. Want to try it? You got a knife, maybe? Yeah. Only the white part. They got a seed into it.
How does it taste?
If you want to eat the seed, you can eat it too.
It's delicious. It's absolutely fantastic.
Okay, this is a palm, we call it sweeter. You can not have anything for it, you can eat this part. Pull it up, just pull it up. Now you can eat this part.
All that white part is carbs.
The white part.
Almost like
the
celery.
white part?
Yeah, this part.
Tastes like celery.
It does. It's like a heartier celery. Thicker. Good.
Hey,
Fibrous.
You don't have nothing to eat, this. It's
Good.
like a palm.
So one of the most abundant source of food in the jungle is heart of palm. Some of the identifying features are these leaves right here, spread around like this. And then you have the root. It's elevated like this. They also call it a walking palm. There's plenty of food on this thing. So let's just cut it down. Watch out.
This stuff is like candy. Love it.
You love it?
Love it.
All this is sellable.
Tangerine chewy. Have some.
Getting a lot of carbs when you eat this heart of palm. And as I mentioned before, extremely abundant here in the jungle. As long as you know how to identify it, you have a lot of food for a long time.
Hey guys, Cyrus here with Sigma 3, and I wanted to get with you guys real quick and talk to you about our morning fishing trip. We woke up just before the sun came up, and we went out on boats and actually caught about 3 different types of local fish. What we have here is the machaca, which is known to the locals as an aphrodisiac. This fish is very similar to the piranha, which is found in the Amazon area, but here this is what they consider their piranha. It has huge teeth. In fact, it actually destroyed our treble hooks. We had to rehook our Rapala fishing lures. What we got here is a bluegill. A lot of you guys back in the States are familiar with that fish. I don't have to go into too much detail there. It's a beautiful fish. They're a lot bigger here than they are back in the States. What we got here, right here, is a what's called a tiger bass. I'm not real familiar with these back in the States, but this is my first experience with them, and I'm really looking forward to tasting them and seeing what they're like. I hear that they're a white fish and they're really bony, but at the end of the day, they're really a really good source of food. So, also what we got here is this one right here is the rainbow bass. And the rainbow bass is a very common fish here, and it's one of the favorites of the indigenous tribes here, known as the Rama people. So we got all together between say 4 guys, 2 boats. We got about 10 fish this morning, and that was in maybe a 2-hour time frame. So you just see the abundance here in this jungle. You can't go too far without finding a food source, a water source, and a good place for shelter. One thing that we have encountered is the fact that when you've set up your shelter and your camp area and you got everything kind of going and everything's running smooth, you start putting out good dishes and stuff like that for the guys here at camp, you're going to run into these army ants, and they're prolific, guys. I mean, you look at the ground and it's moving. It's really an incredible experience, but it's also a reason why you read about a lot of guys in the jungle. They're moving around a lot. They're changing their areas, not only for resources and there we go, not only for resource change, but also because they wanted to get away from these army ants, because if you're there too long, you attract them a lot more throughout. It's an exponential problem. So
looks like we've got some army ants kind of taking over our spot here, eating any leftovers that we have from the fish last night. And these suckers have a hell of a bite too.
You're stepping right on, bro. Yeah.
It is. It's absolutely delicious.
Oh wow.
That's some of the best bass I've ever had in my life.
I don't even like bass back
Yeah, me
home.
neither.
There's no fantastic whatsoever.
All right.
That's ridiculous.
Look how thick that fat layer is on that, man.
Oh man, that's good.
It's good.
Very good.
We haven't even been here 5 hours and we've already got food, shelter, water, fire.
So this is our rainbow bass.
Yeah, that is rainbow bass.
Sliced up, cooked on the grill, descaled it, got the fat layer on it. Real thick fat layer for a bass. Probably one of the thickest I've ever seen. And you know, anytime in survival, when you're cooking fish, you know, fat is like an absolute essential. And so when you cook your fish, you typically want to scale them, because if you don't scale them, you end up losing that fat if you peel it off later. So this is a great way of eating these fish. You're getting a high amount of calories. It's super simple. 4 Y sticks, throw up a grill, throw some palm leaves on it, and throw it on the fire, and it's ready to eat.
Somebody hold the light. I got it. So right now what we're doing is we went and harvested a 10-foot long pole, and now we're skinning it so that we can go ahead and fabricate a crocodile noose. And this is a method used by many primitive cultures around the world, and it happens to be one of our favorite methods for capturing animals that could potentially put you in danger when you're stranded out in the bush and you don't have access to immediate medical facilities. So what we'll do is we'll get this fashioned up, and then we'll get back to you and show you what it looks like in the end result. Thanks.
Rich that guy perfectly.
What Cyrus is doing here is he's taken the pole and thinned it on both sides so that we can take a multi-tool awl and just drill through it. Now if we didn't have a multi-tool awl, then we could drill through it with a piece of hardwood. You could take a piece of flint, you could use primitive cordage, that kind of stuff, but we have some basic EDC equipment we're going to use to make life a little bit better out here in the bush. Alright everybody, we're taking off on the boat right now, and we're going to head out and see if we can't find some small caiman that we're going to try to hook up with this noose and you know, any other game of opportunity with the tools that we have out now. We're going to use flashlights, and you know, obviously we're using some modern methods, but you know, everybody brings an EDC. You're stupid if you don't into the jungle.
When you see the red eyes, just one, okay?
Yep. Red eyes, right? Yeah, we saw one last night, huh?
Yep. And they shine bright, real bright.
So our Rama guide told us basically it's a full moon out tonight, and a lot of the times the caiman aren't as active during full moon type settings. So we kind of got skunked tonight. We only saw one. We got within about 10 yards of it, but it ended up getting away. So hopefully we're going to come out again tomorrow night and give it another run.
So guys, we broke camp earlier at our original location, and we made an insertion here at Silico Lake about 2 hours ago, and within that time frame we were able to put food on the table. Not only this red meat, which is a gute, which is a relative of the Paco family, we also brought in 10 different snook. And this contraption that I have here is what's called a bushcraft noose, and it's really simple, guys. All you got to do is get a 10-foot pole. You want to pair it on both sides so that it's nice and square, and then drill a hole through and run your paracord or any kind of cordage through this that hole, and then tie yourself a trapper's knot or a slip knot. It's really simple, guys. Try not to overcomplicate it. The easier the better a lot of times in the bush, and as you can see, it worked just fine getting us food on the table this evening. Thanks for watching. On top of the agouti, guys, we also caught 10 of these snook, and just look how large these lunkers are. We're actually going to go ahead and process these up and get them on the grill as soon as possible.
Right now the guys are going to go for some breadfruit, which is our favorite. It's like French fries. You can see the tree here. It's a breadfruit tree. Best tree ever in the jungle.
Look at that. Quítate la bota.
Right now the guys are going to go for some breadfruit, which is our favorite. It's like French fries. You can see the tree here. It's a breadfruit tree. Best tree ever in the jungle.
Crazy how he's doing that with socks on. Come on, Rito, you can do it. Woo! There's some of that breadfruit, buddy. There it goes.
I hope it floats. It does. All right.
He's gonna bonk you right on the head, you know that.
I'm waiting for it at any time.
Get them all.
Hey, get them all.
Yeah, get them all.
Alright guys, so Rito climbed that tree in amazing fashion, and the way that he did it was he took a stick that he used to he would prop it up in the limb of one of the lower limbs of the breadfruit tree, and he would use that stick to climb up it, and then once he got to the lower limbs he just pulled the stick up behind him and then knocked down the breadfruit with the stick. It's just absolutely genius. Got to have a little bit of upper body strength, but these guys are fantastic at this stuff. And this stuff is like addictive. I mean, it's seriously like French fries in a tree if you've got a little bit of grease. And there's plenty of hogs. There's, you know, other ways that you could procure grease, but they can be baked, they can be cooked in a whole bunch of different ways. And I'm seriously, like, I've been living on this. This is fantastic. So I'm super happy that Rito climbed that and grabbed it and showed us how it was done.
Okay guys, so what I have here right now is called breadfruit. It's a very common fruit in the jungle. What the Ramas do with it is that they chop it up like this and they fry it. We're going to do only half of it. The other half we're going to save for tonight, and we're going to do some fish, so the old Rama way, with breadfruit and some coconut.
Alright guys, Cyrus here, back with you. Just want to talk to you a little bit about the setup we did here. We threw up a couple Y sticks. We got 4 Y sticks here, and then a couple crossbars here to support the grill setting that we put up here to cook our agouti. And I got to tell you guys, it's absolutely amazing. It actually tastes a little bit like a cross between steak and chicken. Chicken being the texture, steak being the flavor, obviously. This stuff is great, guys. We also took the liberty of roasting some of this heart of palm. And this is not the bitter version of heart of palm. It's actually the sweeter version. It tastes a lot like celery, kind of with a cabbage texture to it. So just stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back with you, and we'll have more coming up.
So we were out chasing chickens, and Narciso's wife was going to cook us a nice dinner before we go into the jungle, and we just happened to run into this nice snake, so we decided, what the heck, we're going to fry him up as well. He's about, I don't know, 6-7 foot long, and the way we like to do it, or at least the way I like to do it, is we cut them up, we skin them, we cut them up into medallions, and lightly fry them with a little bit of spices, and they are really tasty. So I've never personally eaten a jungle snake, so I've eaten hundreds of them back home, and I love them. So this is going to be quite the treat.
I'll lean up against this tree over here. I'm not moving, huh? It's tough. There's no one standing there.
A little smaller on the next one. This is Brian. He's one of our level 1 instructors. coming down here to Nicaragua with us, get some new experiences. Cleaning the snake in traditional Nicaraguan jungle kitchen. Really nice setup. Got nicer cast iron than I do. This is the chicken we're having for dinner, free range.
Take that. Try whacking.
We got fried rainbow fish, bass, fried snake, chicken soup, and a little bit more to come. The boys and I are having a fantastic dinner here at Narciso's house. We've had fried fish, we've had fried snake, chicken soup, killed the chicken, you know, right out there, free range. And his wife cooked it up for us. It's been really fantastic. We've seriously enjoyed our time here. It's been a real honor to have, you know, for them to have us into their home and, you know, have him teach us a few things and show us his lifestyle and just tell him a little bit about the food, guys.
Steak is fantastic. A little bit of lemon on them. Put some wild game seasoning. Not a whole lot of meat on it, but it's very, very good.
The soup, chicken soup, let me tell you, almost as good as mine. You know, I'm just bragging a little here, but there's potatoes in it, and I believe they said there's some bananas. It's got a little bit of spice to it. Fabulous. I mean, excellent, excellent.
I had the rainbow bass, and you know, it was one of the meatiest fishes that I've eaten since I've been here. It's absolutely great. Definitely worth the trouble to fry it.
Say cheese. So right now we're headed to Narciso's. He lives down kind of a little bit of a treacherous looking swampy area, but it's a nice little canal. It's red, probably has lots of tannic acids in it. So we should be there any minute.